Key 1. Stoic. If you want greatness, you need to practice. You need to prepare. You need to refine your skills over and over again until they become second nature. It's about maintaining exceptionally high standards, so when the time comes, your efforts appear effortless. They say leaders aren't born, they're made. And that's true. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Marcus Aurelius, didn't become great because of their innate talent. They became great because of the principles they adhered to, the books they read, and the mentors who guided them. Leadership isn't about being naturally gifted. It's about growth, discipline, and learning from those who came before. One of the most striking examples of this is Marcus Aurelius's relationship with his stepbrother, Lucius Verus. Lucius was not an extraordinary figure. He didn't stand out with any remarkable traits. But Marcus, recognizing that everyone has something to contribute, chose to see the best in him. Upon ascending the throne, Marcus shared his power, making Lucius co-emperor. This was unheard of. Absolute power was typically a path to corruption, yet Marcus defied that expectation. Marcus didn't just tolerate his stepbrother. He found ways to work together to get the best out of Lucius, even if he wasn't an ideal ruler in the traditional sense. This speaks volumes about Marcus's leadership style. He didn't demand perfection from others, but held himself to the highest possible standards. His leadership was about collaboration, understanding, and playing to people's strengths. Even with people who didn't seem to have the potential to shine, Marcus knew that the right guidance could yield great results. This is a crucial lesson for anyone in a leadership position. Great leaders don't expect everyone to be perfect, but they work to bring out the best in each person, leveraging their strengths for the greater good. Marcus's approach wasn't about finding flaws in others, but recognizing their potential and guiding them to success. But leadership isn't just about doing, it's about thinking. General James Mattis, a 4-star Marine Corps general, carried Marcus's meditations with him during deployments because he understood the value of reflection. In a world that's constantly noisy, leaders need to carve out time for stillness. They need to be able to zoom out, reflect, and process their thoughts before taking action. Without that ability, leaders risk reacting impulsively rather than responding thoughtfully. Marcus Aurelius's meditations are a testament to this practice. They are essentially his personal reflections, notes he wrote to himself to better understand his thoughts, decisions, and challenges. Great leaders do the same. They pause, reflect, and then act with clarity. This kind of mental discipline is what separates effective leaders from the rest. If you're not cultivating stillness and space for reflection, you're missing a key component of leadership. Think of it like this. Even Winston Churchill, known for his seemingly impromptu remarks, spent years perfecting his speeches. What appeared to be natural genius was, in fact, meticulously crafted preparation. That's the secret. Greatness doesn't just happen. It's earned through consistent effort, practice, and an unyielding commitment to improvement. So, if you want to lead, if you want to achieve greatness, don't expect it to come easily. It's about embracing the grind, practicing, preparing, refining. That's what will make you truly exceptional. Key 1. Stoic. It's almost hard to believe that the remarkable insights in Marcus Aurelius' meditations were once just the private musings of an emperor. After crossing out countless drafts and refining his thoughts over decades, what we now have is a distilled collection of his deepest wisdom, a culmination of years of experience. The brilliance of these writings lies not in their perfection, but in their raw, honest reflections on leadership and life. If you want to be truly great, the first step is relentless practice. Greatness doesn't come overnight. It requires constant preparation, review, and a commitment to high standards. Only when you have honed your skills to perfection does it begin to look effortless. This is how true mastery is achieved, through continuous self-improvement, day in and day out. Imagine, for a moment, the weight of being an emperor. Marcus Aurelius, responsible for a vast empire, was constantly faced with bad news, crises, rebellions, and difficult decisions. But when we look at his writings, we see a man who, despite these challenges, remained calm and composed. The Stoic principle of being like the rock amidst crashing waves is one that Marcus lived by. His wisdom teaches us that true leadership demands emotional control, especially in high-stakes situations. It's not about suppressing emotion, but rather learning not to react impulsively, to maintain a sense of calm so you can respond with clarity and purpose. This leadership quality is not only important in the grander schemes of empire, but also in our everyday lives. Think of John F. Kennedy during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He exemplified the rock metaphor by remaining unflustered, allowing time for reflection before making his decisions. As leaders, we too must resist knee-jerk reactions and instead respond from a place of reason and wisdom. A powerful story of leadership comes from the reign of Emperor Hadrian. On one of his provincial tours, Hadrian was approached by a woman in the crowd who demanded his attention. Despite being busy and weighed down by his responsibilities, Hadrian initially tried to brush her off. However, the woman, seeing his refusal to engage, shouted, "Then stop being emperor." And Hadrian did just that. He stopped, listened, and addressed her concerns. This moment of humility shows that leadership means taking responsibility not just in the big decisions, but also in the small ones. When you choose to lead, you choose to serve. Marcus Aurelius, despite often feeling the heavy burden of leadership, accepted it with grace. He knew that with the privileges of power came the responsibility to serve others. This sense of duty was instilled in him by his stepfather, Antoninus, who spent nearly 2 decades preparing Marcus for his role as an emperor. This kind of leadership is not about self-interest or seeking praise. It's about recognizing the duty to those you lead and striving to be your best for them. The idea that we can learn from Marcus Aurelius is not just about reading his meditations once and moving on. It's about rereading them year after year and allowing the wisdom to sink in deeper each time. Former President Bill Clinton, for example, made a point to revisit Marcus' writings annually. Imagine if every leader, every parent, every person in a position of power took the time to reflect on Marcus Aurelius' teachings. The world would be far better off. Marcus built his leadership philosophy around 4 core Stoic virtues: courage, discipline, justice, and wisdom. These were his guiding principles, the bedrock of his leadership. He believed that if you could live by these virtues, you had the potential to overcome any obstacle that came your way. The obstacle is the way is not just a motivational phrase. It's a profound truth. Every challenge, every setback is an opportunity to embody one of these virtues and grow stronger as a leader. Meditations was never intended for publication. It wasn't a self-help book or a memoir for public acclaim. It was in fact a deeply personal journal, written not for others, but for Marcus himself. He used it as a tool for self-reflection and personal growth, wrestling with his shortcomings, his frustrations, and his doubts. Each passage was an attempt to become the person philosophy had taught him to be. The genius of Marcus Aurelius lies not in his perfection, but in his continual striving toward it. He understood that leadership is not about being flawless. It's about being willing to confront your weaknesses, learn from them, and grow. And in that sense, Meditations is more than just a book of philosophical wisdom. It's a testament to the daily, relentless effort required to lead with integrity, courage, and wisdom. If we adopt even a fraction of his mindset, we too can become better leaders in our own lives. Key 1. Stoic leadership is not merely about making quick decisions in moments of pressure. It's rooted in preparation and a deep sense of self-reflection. A truly impactful leader consistently practices journaling. not as a way to complain or criticize, but as an opportunity to realign with personal values and principles. This quiet act of writing provides the space needed to detach from the noise of daily life, gaining clarity and perspective. Whether done in the morning to set the tone for the day or at night to reflect, journaling serves as a grounding ritual that sharpens focus and strengthens one's leadership abilities. When it comes to leadership, we can draw immense value from Marcus Aurelius' meditations. His personal reflections were not mere musings. They were strategic tools for navigating the complexities of leadership. The Stoics taught that leadership is not about avoiding adversity, but embracing it. Marcus faced plagues, wars, betrayals, and devastating fires, yet he consistently used each challenge as an opportunity to refine his virtues. His belief was simple yet profound. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. For Marcus, every difficulty was a chance to demonstrate resilience, patience, and wisdom, qualities that make a great leader. As leaders, we are bound to face moments that test our resolve. The key is not to shy away from these challenges, but to transform them into opportunities for personal growth. Whether dealing with difficult colleagues, handling setbacks, or managing crises, these moments define our leadership. Like Marcus, when faced with betrayal or failure, it's essential to choose a measured, constructive response over reactive anger. This mindset allows us to not only cope with adversity, but to rise above it, evolving into stronger, wiser leaders. Look at the unprecedented shifts many businesses faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. Companies had to pivot quickly, adapt to new technologies, and innovate at a rapid pace. What was once a distant goal suddenly became an urgent priority. This required risks, creativity, and flexibility, traits that were key to not just surviving, but thriving in uncertain times. This encapsulates the essence of the obstacle is the way. Leaders who view adversity as an opportunity to grow, rather than something to avoid, will lead their teams to success, no matter the crisis. A Stoic practice known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, teaches us to mentally prepare for life's inevitable challenges. This isn't about pessimism, but about understanding that difficulties are a natural part of life. By mentally rehearsing possible setbacks, leaders are better prepared to handle stress, make clearer decisions, and stay composed when things don't go as planned. Marcus Aurelius embodied this mindset throughout his reign. He faced a reign filled with hardships and challenges, yet he transformed each setback into an opportunity for growth. His leadership story continues to inspire us today, showing that true leadership is not about smooth sailing, but how we navigate the storm. Great leaders don't just react to difficulties, they anticipate them. They mentally prepare for potential obstacles, refining their strategies and responses before the challenges arise. This proactive approach enables them to stay calm under pressure, make rational decisions, and inspire confidence in their teams. At its core, leadership requires not only decisive action, but thoughtful reflection. It's about integrating everyday struggles into a larger vision, seeing obstacles as stepping stones to greater growth. Just as Marcus Aurelius turned the hardships of his reign into lessons in virtue, we too can use every challenge as an opportunity to develop, grow, and lead with greater effectiveness.